Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow, and I'm here to tell you the truth and the truth straight way. You know, the moral decay, the moral decline, the spiritual bankruptcy that we're all faced with, the moral degradation of our country right now is literally appalling, especially for those of us who've been on this earth for almost half a century. We understand what's going on. We can see a little bit clearer than the generations that's coming after us, but hey, there is hope. There are people who are coming after us who actually can listen to wisdom and actually get the truth. Now, you know, I was thinking about something early this morning and stuff, and it was back on the silver front again. So I decided to go over to Coinflation, all right, coinflation.com. And I decided to look to see what a pre-1964 quarter and a pre-1964, of course, Mercury dime is worth. Now, this Mercury dime right here equals to 1 day's pay in the old ancient Roman Empire. And I need for you to hear me out and listen to me very, very closely if you want the understanding of what's going on. Because everybody in every facet of life that there is, you know, have their own what they call perception of truth. And I think that's one of the problems that we're dealing with in our society today is that, you know, individuals who have already had their mind and their conscience coerced and manipulated and trained, nevertheless, needed to say, we believe that if we just bring it up in our conscience and then we make a rational decision, that we define truth under our own terms. And of course, that goes along with my statement that a slave that loveth chains has no desire whatsoever to be free and do not want to be free whatsoever at all. So unless you are willing to go against wind and tide, there's no way that you can have the understanding. I don't care what area of life that there is, because the one thing I've learned the few years that I have lived here on this earth is that every single thing in this earth right here is all based under the illusion of truth, while the total function of it is a lie. Now, let me give you an example. I'm looking on Coinflation here this morning. This is a, let me see, I can't tell. This is a 1941 Mercury dime. Silver. 90% silver. Most people in some arenas call it junk silver. Now watch this. Today, this Mercury dime is worth $2.24, just about $2.25 for this dime right here. And of course, the quarter in itself is worth $5.62. This one quarter is 25% value, 25% denomination on the front of this. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, you know, some of us are caught into a net and a trap of lies, and we don't understand. We don't understand no matter what. I don't care if it's social, political, economic, or the religious front. Most of us are trapped and snared in lies that have the illusion of truth, which many of us would automatically say, hey, just don't lie to me. Whatever you do, just do not lie to me, because nobody likes a liar. That's just all is true. Nobody likes it. That's just the truth. Now, I said all that because we are watching prices literally go through the roof. I mean, just literally go through the roof. Gas, commodities, which is food. We're watching it just, I mean, our pockets are definitely getting thinner. And of course, we're saying that things cost more. See, that's the way that we think. We think, oh man, things are costing more. But let me give you an understanding here, if you will listen to me for a second. Listen to me. It is not that things are costing more. The problem is your government is in the way of the private sector of making a country viable, vibrant, and that can thrive in prosperity. That's the problem, because they have gotten in the way of all the small businesses and other businesses, and they have gotten in the back pockets of the corporations, which are gutting us. And if you don't understand these principles, I can't help you. If you don't have the spirit of truth, I cannot help you. I cannot give you the understanding. But you do need to at least try to listen and at least try to grasp what I'm saying in order to preserve yourself and protect yourself and to hedge yourself, not only for this upcoming economic judgment, but you need to just do it just for livelihood's sake. That's what you need to do. Now, let me clarify this for a second. It has an illusion that prices are going up because we see the numbers. Kind of like when you go to the grocery store, go check out that ice cream and see where it used to be 3-4 years ago, and then see how much the quantities have actually decreased. The prices has increased. And the illusion is that you're still buying the same amount. Now, only those who are consciously aware of what's going on will pick up this. It's like, look at your Coke cans, look at your tater chip bags, and you're constantly seeing less value for the money. Now, I'm going somewhere with this, because while we go to the gas pumps and while we continue to shop and go to these stores and we are under the illusion that prices are going up, the truth is, it's the policies of the United States government that has gotten us in the shape that we're in today. You see, all this money that I keep telling us about over and over again, they keep printing and printing and printing in order to preserve. I call it kicking the proverbial can down the road and then saddling the debt of this country to the next generation, because, see, this generation is living now and they don't care nothing about the generation that's 20 years behind us. Let them have and let them take care of it once they get there. And that's what's happening. We're printing money out of nothing because we don't have nothing. Because, see, cash, which is trash, is only built upon one thing and one thing alone. A promise that the United States of America will make good on. Now, you need to ask yourself a question. And in order to answer this question, you must be a student of history. How good is the word of the United States of America? How good is it? How good? I mean, the reason why I say you need to ask, because you have to become proactive. Because anybody can sit back, listen to this video and say, well, I don't like it, I don't agree. But what if you don't have any knowledge? I mean, look at us in America. Everybody think that they have something to add. Everybody believes that their opinion is valid. And as soon as somebody gets up in front of here, in your face, telling you exactly what the truth is, you actually exercise your option of disagreement, thinking that, hey, you are the epitome of truth. The word of the United States of America is not benevolent. The word of the United States of America is just not true. If you don't believe me, ask the people who have been jacked by the so-called benevolent word or the promises of the United States of America. The whole thing is built on a lie. The whole entire thing. This country is built on lies. I know you hate to hear it, but it's just the truth. The churches are built on lies. I know you hate to hear it, but it's just the truth. And unless you change your mind, and unless you start hedging, preserving, and protecting yourself, and hey, there's always a small remnant of people who understand and get what's going on. How many years have you sat in churches and go, man, something just ain't right? But yet and still you continue to go, but man, something ain't right though, man. I just can't put my finger on it. And then you still can't be content. How many times you go to the bank and stuff and you go to the store and you see these prices continue to keep rising, you go, man, something ain't right. Well, the truth is, it ain't the fact that your prices continue to rise. The truth is that your dollar is losing value. It's not even worth the paper that it's printed on. And I'll prove it to you. Mind you, here it is. This is a quarter that has a $5.62 value, 90% junk silver. And there's a dime that has a $2.25 value. This one dime right here. Now, you take your dollar bill and you put it against it and see which one is worth the most. Go to the gas pump, take that dollar bill, and I want you to pump $1 worth of gas. Get another container. This dime, which is 90% silver. All right, you can take this to any coin shop right now and get $2.25 for it. And I want you to pump $2.25 worth of gas. Then and only then will you get it. Then and only then will you understand, this paper is losing value. It's losing purchasing power. And while they continue to keep telling us that this is an industrial metal and that it has no intrinsic value and it's pretty much worthless according to the system. See, the system has got this all jacked up. You cannot play their game and expect to prosper and function. You cannot continue to go to these churches that tell you lies and don't have the truth and expect to gain an advantage. See, the illusion of the masses or the deception of the masses is we think that if the whole world is doing it or the masses is doing it, that makes it right. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. You have to, and you must be content to go against wind and tide. Well, the truth is, this dime right here continues to keep going up in value. Can you imagine 10 cent is worth $2.25? Do you understand the percentages? The value, how this has gone up? And Pastor Dow gets on here and hops on here over and over and over again. People, you need to get out there and you need to buy. You need to buy you some junk silver. Buy you some silver like this, huh? Buy some, just like this right here. It's amazing. But I do know this. If you're going to stand for truth, you cannot play the game that the masses of the people out here or the system has in place. You've got to rebel. Whenever you buy silver like this and you take it out of the market right there and you store it your own self, because unless you have it in your hand, it ain't yours. It's not yours. Unless you possess it, it is not yours. If you possess it, it is yours. See, silver, unlike houses that continue to keep losing value, houses, we all know, those of us who own houses, that houses are a liability. I don't care what people say. We all know that. We all know that cars, they're a liability. They continue to keep losing in value every single year. They don't go up in value. I don't care how much stuff you put on them. I don't care how much price that the things, the added, the stuff that you add to it, the bling bling or whatever you want to call it, the car is still going to go down in value. The only time that that car may be worth anything is going to take a long time. How long has the dollar been in circulation? And how long has silver been? 6,000 years. Silver has been in circulation. And you know what? There's something funny about this silver, because it's always been money. You can go as far back in history as you want, and you can see that this silver right here has always been money. We need to ask ourselves a question. How is it that we can accept truth in the area of economics, but we can't accept the truth in the area of faith? I didn't say religion. I said faith. I mean, after all, which one's more important, your soul or your natural man and the preservation of that natural man for here and now? Now, while I do believe that we do need to preserve our soul and we do need to preserve the natural man, I think that our priorities are all messed up here in this life. I think we get sidetracked because there are too many voices of influence that are all vying for our conscience and our mind. And only the Spirit of truth can lead and guide you into the path of what is right. And that's just the truth. This world is filled with an ocean of sharks, and you are the bait. That's why you can't play their game. Why is the silver revolution still in full force and full power? Because we understand what's going on. Why have so many people are coming out of these Christian churches today? Because we understand. You cannot prosper in a lie no matter how much it may seem like the illusion of freedom or the illusion of prosperity is there. You cannot prosper in it. Sooner or later, you are going to pay the proverbial piper. We need to ask ourselves. It's amazing. We can come to the truth when it comes to this, but we close up our ears to the faith. And then we wonder, man, we get out here and we preach the truth about sound money and what money really truly is. Here's the silver bullet for all the central banks in the whole entire world, and they know it. But when you start talking to people about other things, all of a sudden they close their ears. And many of you understand, you don't want people to suffer, but yet you can't stop it. You can't stop them from suffering because people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, and most of them are not going to do anything about it. You know, I was talking to a preacher friend, used to be a preacher friend of mine, who decided that he was no longer, it was no longer in his best interest to be my friend. And asked him what did I do to him? Nothing. He just called up and said, I just can't do it. I'm like, what in the world did I do to you? I mean, I hadn't spoken with you in the last 6 months. And when I do, there's always this, you can tell when you're talking to people, there's this reservation and you wondering what in the world is going on. Well, anyway, that's just what he said. I don't know what it was, but he did admit after 2 or 3 years of the little short-lived relationship that we had that I was right, because I was telling him to go and get some silver when it was $14 an ounce. And it's hovering around 30. You know the reason why? Because your dollar is declining and real money continues to keep going up. Right now, all of us who in the know, we know that JP Morgan, we know that the central banks, we know that Wall Street, we know that all of these people, the CFTC, all these people, they have no ambitions whatsoever at all to set this thing right. So it's up to us, the people, to set this thing right. And those of us who understand and know what real true store of wealth is, both naturally as well as spiritually, there's only a few of us. This quiet revolution is only going to be a few. It always has been a few, and it will never be the masses. Whatever the masses says, you can guarantee this about the masses. They have always emphatically been wrong. That's just the truth. And there's only been those who have the spirit of truth that has been able to stand and go against wind and tide, and they've been able to preserve themselves. We're getting ready to watch the greatest transfer of wealth here on this earth in our present day. And this Ponzi scheme that is international, worldwide, it's slowly eroding and coming apart. It's like going down the road and the tires and the wheels are falling off the car. That's the thing that's happening. You know, when you go back and you listen a long time ago to what Alan Greenspan said, you know what he said? He said, hey, we can print money as much as you want. Said this right here in front of the regulators, right in front of the senators who are also in the back pockets of the corporations. Their best interest is the corporations, not you. Said to them, we can print as much money as you want, but we cannot guarantee the purchasing power or the value of those paper assets or paper money that is printed. Money is, you know, paper is not assets anyway. But it is remarkable and amazing how they can stand up there and sit up and be brutally honest. You know, for myself as a pastor, I understood that in order for me, because I've got the spirit of truth, to learn this truth, I had to come out, separate myself, and get way out here, hear what the Holy Spirit had to say, and I had a gauntlet to run through. I mean, you wouldn't believe what it took me and how many years it took me to unlearn everything that I had ever had learned before, just so I could only preach and teach what this Bible says. I have people all the time, Pastor, you watch this video of this preacher? No. You watch this? No. Do you know who this guy is? Nope. Have you ever heard this guy? Nope. I don't watch. I don't have time to watch these people. I just don't have it. But I do know one thing. I trust in the spirit that is operating in me. Yes, I do too. Because I know one thing. It has given me a life of peace and happiness and joy. And not only that, to everybody who it goes out and touches, it gives them the same thing. And you know what? Those who do listen to me, they're getting themselves and making themselves ready. And that's just a fact. I hope that you had the ears to hear. And I hope that I've said something today that is going to inspire you. Let me end on this. And I wanted to end on this for the sole purpose that you would at least, because I know that many of you have forgotten everything that's been said in this video. But I want to leave you with this. Everybody has their own perception of truth. That doesn't mean it's the truth just because you perceive it as being the truth. Here in America, in the Western civilization, we function after an abstract viewpoints and everything. Nothing's really concrete. That's just the way we think. And that's the way we process thought. And that's how we process thought. But you know what? You need to see if you're positioning yourself to help strengthen the body, to help strengthen those that are around you. Because if you ever really truly want to ever get to the truth, then everything you've ever believed, just throw it away and start your own due diligence, doing your own due diligence and your own research. It's going to take you a little time, but I know what? You're going to be in for the shock of your life. And after you get past being angry and mad and upset, then you'll do something about it. You know, I couldn't invest in silver. I couldn't come to the understanding of that until I had the understanding of what sound money is. And if I refuse to invest in myself, my mind right here, how in the world can I actually say that I care about myself and then those who are around me? And of course, with me, more than anything, my spirituality is more important My faith is more important than anything here on this earth, because we're only going to be here a short period of time. You don't believe me? Go past those graveyards and see how many bodies that are out there. But I know one thing. The truth was here before we got here, and it'll be here long after we're gone. And I think if we really truly love our brothers and sisters, if we love the people that are around us, we'll stop living under the illusion of these lies and stop feeding this flesh, which has an appetite that can never be filled. And we will do that truth. Y'all be encouraged.